Well, I started working on it when I got back from physical therapy today. I got some of it wired in. I ain't got it all done. I think the only thing I got left right here now is to do the batteries right here and a little bit right here. But let me flip it around and I'll show y'all what all I got done. Battery's probably the last thing I hook up right here, but I'm trying to get everything else done. But hold on a second. Now you can see I got my main junction box put in. I drilled through my 2x4s right there with a heavy duty cable. I came all the way through the back side of it, and then I came in right there behind the main wires, because the white wires, that goes over to this other power box up here. That's what feeds this right here, grid power. And then the one right behind it, that's coming from my main box over yonder. So that's coming from that right there, and I got a couple of breakers in it, and you can see I came in. I may have to flip this right here up into the top around, but I wasn't paying attention what I was doing when I first did it. But I got it on one breaker right up here, and then I jumped it at the top because this is only 110, so it ain't got no 220. So I'm going to feed both sides of the legs coming down on 110 while I can have breakers down both sides. But I need to flip this around right here and see if I can find me just a single 30 amp fuse to go right up here, and then I take this one right here and move it down here to this one right here. This one right here is only a 15, so I got one 15, another 15, and then that 30. But I got a couple of 30 amp ones right there. But if I can find me a single 30 and put it up here, and then it's jumped at the very top right there, I have it made. And then I got my common and my ground coming around. But that's what I'm saying. I cut it a little short. I was supposed to have this ground coming up here to the top of that lug right here. So I might flip it around and see if I can redo it, but I got to put a wire nut right here on the bottom of this thing right here and tie it to the bottom of the box. But I got to take all my leads coming over here, going into this box, which is these two right here and these other two right here, and I got to run them back over to that box right yonder, and then wire everything in this shed over there. But I've only got like, I got these two, and then these two right here come back. That's some white wires right there. They're going to come back and go back into this box right here. And that's the only thing that's going to go up there. 130, 115 amp breaker up at the top. But, yep, I got the solar tied in, coming down, coming around, and they're wired in. I got all my other stuff right in here, and there's the white wires right there. That's the first lugs right here in the front of it, and the ones behind that right there, that's the power coming out of the grow watt. So like I said, that goes up there. So the only thing I got to do now is just put my bus bars up here and then start wiring the batteries in. I got some of my leads right there. I may have to use one of my red leads to turn back around and then do the other one, but I don't know. I may end up see if I can find me a black lead and go up here, because I got the ends. I got the ends right there that I can make my own up. So I just got to find it all. But I just want to show y'all where I was at, what is going on. But I'm slowly but surely coming along with it. Maybe later on I got to put me some metal up behind that grow watt right there in order to make it fire resistant. But right now I'm just putting it up, kind of see what's going on, get it all kind of wired up. But later on, I'll get it done, but hopefully tomorrow this will be all done. The batteries will be hooked up. The only ones that ain't gonna be hooked up right now is them over yonder, because they're 25 volts each battery, and then when you tie them together, there's your 50 volts. And like I say, that'll be 60 amp hours on that battery, 60 amp hours on the other two batteries right there. So there's 120 amp hours. And then 80 amp hours right here. So I'll be close to 300 amp hours with a battery sitting here when this is all done. I have to total it all up and figure out exactly what it'll be. But them right there's got to have a BMS. And the other one sitting over yonder behind all that garbage right on that green Freon bottle. There's another box over there that's got batteries in it. But they're all going to be sitting right here on that bottom shelf right there. And then I got to tie them all in right here. But I'll add to it as I go on, but I wanted to show y'all where I was at right now. Them other set of leads coming from the solar panels, I'm just going to leave them sit to the side. So like I say, we're going to try this 59 volts coming from it first and find out where it's going to be at and see whether or not it'll charge. If it'll charge, I'd rather use this 3 panels because then that allowed me to have 3, 3, 3, and 3. Like, it'd be 4 panels, 4 sets of 3 panels, which would be almost 5 amps on each one. All right, so I have more amperage if I'm able to do it that way to charge with. But if I got to do it the other way and use 4 panels, I only get 3 of them out of it, and I'm only going to get about 15 amps. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what's going to go on to probably tomorrow. But like I said, I'm going to sit in here and try to get the rest of this right here wired up. I'm taking a break to give me something to eat right now. But I'll add to it. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Well, I got just a little bit more of this in here done, but I run into a problem. So I'm going to show you what my problem is, and I'm going to show you what I got done here. So hold on, let me flip it around for you. Now you can see I done kind of got it up to that point right there to where I got it wired in. Solar's coming in. But what my problem being is these golf cart batteries I've had for a while. And I really wasn't paying no attention. But when I hooked them up, they're so low, I guess that the BMS is done shut down inside them. So I had to take it apart and bypass it in order to hook it up in order to charge. At least because that right there, that power supply is only good for about 30 volts, but 10 amps. But I'm going to see if I can charge it at least up to 31 volts where the grow watt will actually sit, because it won't even come on. The only way it'll come on is if that right there is actually hooked to it, and then it'll come on. But I think the batteries were like 2 volts, something like that. So they've been sitting in the house. I mean, I've had them for a while. I should have been charging them, but I mean, when you're driving a truck and you're always gone, you just ain't thinking about all this right here. But hopefully I can get them charged up. And then when the grow watt right here starts, running, I can let it do all the charging, because I can only get it up to about 31 volts. I'm just waiting on that amperage on the very bottom to bottom out to 0. And that's as much as it's going to put into it. But maybe it might be just enough in order for that grow watt to sense it and the BMS to come back on to where I can actually start using it. But I figured I'd give y'all an update. I'll let y'all know what's going on, because I'm going to probably have to do the bottom battery the same way. But talk to you a little bit.